Hello Wide Real News viewers. Welcome back to our channel, your number one source for breaking news, in-depth analysis, and stories that matter most. If you haven't subscribed yet, click that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay updated on everything happening in the US and around the world. Let's dive into today's developing story that has been shaking political and security circles across America: rising threats against Trump-appointed officials, a new wave of terror. A chilling wave of bomb threats has targeted at least 9 individuals appointed by Donald Trump as key members of his upcoming administration. These appointees include figures nominated to lead the Department of Defense, Housing and Urban Development, Agriculture, and Labor, as well as those chosen to represent the United States at the United Nations. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, has confirmed that it received numerous credible bomb threats alongside threatening phone calls. Authorities have scrambled to evacuate and secure areas under threat, showcasing the alarming intensity of the situation. Fear spreads among officials. One of the first public figures to reveal these threats was Elise Stefanik, a Republican congresswoman from New York and Trump's pick for U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Stefanik disclosed that her family was targeted while she was traveling from Washington, D.C. to New York with her husband and their 3-year-old son. In a statement, Stefanik expressed her shock and dismay, emphasizing that this attack was not just against her, but her family as well. This isn't just political intimidation, it's an outright attack on democracy and the safety of those who serve our nation, she remarked. Security on high alert. Pete Hegseth, nominated to lead the Department of Defense, also confirmed that his family home had been targeted. In a post on X, formerly Twitter, Hegseth recounted a harrowing morning when law enforcement arrived at his house with a warning of a potential bomb threat. At the time, his 7 children were inside the house, unaware of the danger looming outside. It doesn't matter how many threats they send our way. My commitment to serving this country under President Trump's leadership remains unwavering, Hegseth declared. Patterns of intimidation. This pattern of bomb threats appears calculated to instill fear among Trump appointees and their families. Brooke Rollins, slated to head the Department of Agriculture, expressed gratitude to local police for their swift response after her Texas home became a target. We are safe and back home, but this experience was a stark reminder of the lengths some people will go to silence others, Rollins said. Lee Zeldin, nominated to lead the Environmental Protection Agency, also received threats at his New York residence. Messages supporting pro-Palestinian causes were reportedly linked to the incident, raising questions about whether these threats are politically motivated or driven by broader geopolitical tensions. Public reaction, fear and outrage. Many Americans have expressed deep concern over these events, calling for swift action to prevent further incidents. Jane Miller, a resident of Washington, D.C., voiced her fears, "This is not the America I know. Targeting public servants and their families is a line that should never be crossed." Others are calling for bipartisan solidarity in condemning such acts. Mark Turner, a Florida resident and veteran, said, "Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, these kinds of threats affect all of us. If this continues, what's stopping them from targeting ordinary citizens next?" Political implications. The wave of threats comes as Donald Trump prepares to take office following a controversial and heavily polarized election season. Critics argue that this atmosphere of division has created fertile ground for violence and intimidation. However, Trump's team remains defiant. Caroline Levitt, a spokesperson for the Inauguration Planning Committee, condemned the threats as acts of cowardly terrorism designed to derail their efforts. "These despicable acts won't stop us," she declared, urging Americans to stand united against such intimidation. Authorities respond. The FBI, along with other law enforcement agencies, has launched an investigation to identify the perpetrators behind these coordinated threats. In a statement, Capitol Police emphasized that they are working closely with federal agencies to ensure the safety of all affected individuals. Despite the serious nature of these incidents, officials have refrained from disclosing specific details about the suspects or their motives, citing the ongoing investigation. President Biden reacts. The White House has also responded to the situation, with President Joe Biden receiving briefings on the threats. "We are closely monitoring these developments and coordinating with law enforcement to ensure the safety of those targeted," read a statement from the White House. The administration's measured response aims to avoid further escalating tensions in an already charged political climate. A broader threat. This is not the first time such threats have emerged. Last year, a series of bomb threats targeted US politicians across the country, particularly during the holiday season. Both Republicans and Democrats were affected, highlighting how these acts of intimidation transcend party lines. John Ratcliffe, Trump's pick to lead the CIA, and Susie Wiles, nominated for Chief of Staff, are among the latest figures to confirm they were targeted this week. We cannot allow fear to dictate our actions, Wiles stated, calling on law enforcement to bring those responsible to justice. What comes next? As investigations continue, many are left wondering about the implications of these threats for the future of political discourse and public safety in America. Citizens are urging a united front to condemn such acts and prevent them from becoming normalized. Thank you for tuning in. That's the latest update on this developing story. If you want to stay informed about this and other breaking news stories, make sure to subscribe to Wide Real News. Don't forget to like, share, and comment below with your thoughts on how America can address this alarming trend of political violence. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you next time.